Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the Pick and Roll Podcast, episode 109. I'm here with my guy Nicky Stees, who will be joining me for the Sixers and Nets game tonight. How you doing, Nicky?
Doing all right. Sometimes the weather kind of fucks with my mood a little bit, but I try not to let it get the best of me.
Right, right. And who's this guy?
I don't
I don't know.
know.
Who are
Who's
you?
that guy? Who's that?
I don't know. Who are you? I don't like your finger pointing at me.
How about this one?
And right back at you then. What is up, bro? What is up, man?
hype about NBA right now. I mean, we talked about how ratings were down and people weren't really talking about it, and then the trade deadline happened. Now a lot of people talking about basketball again. Football ending helps too. So
We're the Super Bowl champions. Yeah, my guy Phil comes in. He's a real betting guy. Joel Embiid, over under 1 second play tonight. He's already out. He's already ruled out. What is up, Wesley, Chad, everybody in the chat? All right, let's just get right into it by playing this small little game. One's gotta go. So, Nikki, I'm gonna ask you first. Which one do you think? If you were, which one's gotta go? Cade, Maxi, Ball, or Hero?
I would go with Hero out of those guys because, with all due respect, he's kind of showing he's like more of a right fit type of situation guy. Where, like Cade, now you're starting to see him break out as a star. LaMelo this year, he's doing really good as long as he stays healthy. And Maxi himself is having a good year, doing the best he can. Like Hero, I feel like he's a right situation guy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Blaze, you and I talked about this before.
yeah, right off the bat, if you want to go technical, LaMelo and Maxi are not all stars. They didn't make the all-star team. So most people would probably say it's one of those two then. Now, arguably, Trae Young, even though he's in now, would be considered a snub. LaMelo can be considered a snub, and so could Maxi. When you got players that are, well, I'm trying to see where LaMelo is, but I know Maxi, he's fourth in the NBA in scoring. It's like, I get they did the whole their team's not doing well, so he's not an all-star, and I call bullshit on that. And it's not just because I'm a Sixer fan and a big Maxi fan. You take him out of that team, they don't even win 10 games yet this season. It's like so. I got a personal bias I got in this one because right in the corners in the red, you got two Kentucky boys, and I'm a huge UK fan, so. Hero's having his, a breakout season so far because without Butler being there, he's really stepped up. He's got the All-Star nod. So it's a personal bias. Cade Cunningham is a great player, and so is LaMelo. LaMelo's a great story. Cade finally proving that he can be superstar worthy because coming out of the first round, everyone thought he would, and then he didn't, live up to it right off the bat. It's not Maxi or Hero. Surprise, surprise for me. And like I said, it's a personal bias. All four are arguably good players, but if I'm going to get rid of one, it's just his style of play. It's a different type of play. I'm a guy who loves the guards, the slashers, the shooters, and not that he can't do that, but I would take Cade Cunningham out. Now, there's no wrong answer, in my opinion.
There is no wrong answer here at all. What is up? Yeah, what is up, Chad?
J-Dog, Inanimate Studio, my boy J-Dog. What's happening?
Oh, that's him. I always forget his name every time. For me, I'm a huge fan of LaMelo Ball. Have been a huge fan of him for God knows how long. Tyrese Maxey, no, he's staying right where he is. Yes, he's gonna keep it where it is. I already beat you to that. Cade Cunningham, without him, I don't think that Detroit will be anywhere where they are right now. So with Miami, Tyler Hero to build they're trying to build around him. They're trying to build around him and Bam. So I gotta go with Cade too. I was gonna go with Tyler Hero earlier, but I think I'm gonna go with Cade. It's just with Cade, I feel like how
Let
should I
us know in
say
the
this?
chat too. Let us know in the chat who you guys would knock out too. I mean, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna play Coach Ed because he takes everything
Ooh,
literally. So Coach
okay,
Ed,
Coach Ed.
if he was here, here's what Coach Ed would say: what are we taking them out of? Are we
Right.
taking them out of our starting lineup? Are we taking them out of our favorites? Are we taking them out of the All-Star game? So ask the question more literally. And I know that's the question. Which one would you take out? And it's just a personal bias. It's which one do you like which one do you least like personally? That's all it is.
Yeah, I like Tyler Hero. Also, I love his game. So Cade is the last one out for me. So yeah.
I've seen a lot of these, like where take one out and there's 6 pictures or 5 pictures, and so they're fun
it's
little
always
extra.
fun.
Much better than a grid.
Hey, you spoiled my plans for next week.
I think I'll be out of town next week.
Oh, where you going? Where you going next week?
To that other room over there.
Oh, to that room. Okay. All right. So, guys, Kevin Durant, he's in a not broke, but he clinched the 30,000 career points mark. He actually won. How many people are in there? Like 9 or something. There's not a lot of players in it, but now not Kate Cunningham. Oh my God, Kevin Durant is part of that club. So, props to him. Blaze, what about that?
I'm a big KD fan. The only thing I think he should do is shave his head bald. Because it's time. But just looking, the Suns posted this earlier today. 30,000 career points, 15-time All-Star, 11 All-NBAs, 4 Olympic gold medals, MVP in 2014, 2-time champion, 2-time Finals MVP, 2-time All-Star Game MVP, 4-time scoring champ, and Rookie of the Year in 2008. First ballot Hall of Famer. A lot of people will put him in the top 10 all time when it's all said and done. I got no problem with that. And here's what I do have a problem with.
I was going to ask you about the top 10, so I'm glad you brought that up.
People always looking for a negative in something brilliant and wonderful like this. I saw a post where it said, KD's 10,000 point, and he lost that game. KD's 20,000 point, and they lost that game. KD's 30,000 point, and they lost that game. Go screw yourself. Play negative.
That's exactly what happened with LeBron, right? Yeah. He got the 40,000. Oh, lost the game.
Well, here's a hot take.
Go for it.
I would take KD over LeBron if I was picking a team.
You know what? That's funny because I remember a couple years ago, me and my buddy were going back and forth, and we both said KD just because of his scoring aspect and the last second shot. Like, now, if you needed 3, I'll give it to KD over LeBron.
I'm considering current LeBron, not young LeBron.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
I liked young LeBron, but at the same time, KD is the epitome of the guy who wasn't supposed to do these things. When you're taller and skinnier like that, you're not supposed to be banging underneath and getting rebound. You're not supposed to be shooting threes. I'm talking old school. He's that form that now the NBA players are kind of geared towards. You see the Wembys, you see AD, a lot of the other players that these tall, thin guys that put on the muscle, but KD, and what negative things can you say about KD? When has he done anything to I don't know, maybe he has, maybe I don't know. But he's never really that negative. He's not really that boisterous either when it comes to talking. I just read off some of the most amazing stats
you have
for one player ever. And here's the thing. He's not done. He can still do it. He's not the KD that he was. He's, but, and I hear them talking a lot on TV today and yesterday, probably getting traded in the offseason. They're gonna have to move him to get a lot out of him going forward. It's not that he doesn't, but here's the thing: he's not going to pull a Jimmy Butler. He's going to play his ass off while he's still there. Even if they told him, "Hey, we're probably going to trade you in the offseason, whatever," he's still going to play his ass off and keep breaking records. So, first ballot Hall of Famer, arguably a top 10 of all time. Depends on who you talk to. If Embiid wasn't having surgery in the offseason, I would literally say, give them Embiid and a couple picks and bring KD to Philly. But now with Embiid more than likely, getting surgery again, it's going to be hard to get rid of him. We've talked in the past. I know the topic is KD, but Embiid, we've all said, we're probably going to get rid of him. I think we're stuck with him next year too now because of this surgery.
Yeah,
I'd love to see them move him, but who's going to take someone who's injured all season, going to get surgery again, and can't take the damn 3 to win the game when you need it?
Oh my God, I was so mad about that last night.
And KD has been in situations where he didn't need to be the leader.
Right.
When he won his title with Steph was arguably the leader. So I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong about that, but I don't think he's the type that wants or needs to be the leader.
Yeah. So, Nikki, I'm going to let you talk about Kevin Durant, and then I'm going to respond to what Bleach said.
I mean, it's another accolade on the resume of a top 10, if not top 10, top 15, depending on who you put on your list. But yeah, it's another accolade on one of the all-time greats in NBA history. Now, this is a little bit off subject, but this is why I rank Kevin Durant as the greatest OKC Thunder / Seattle Supersonic of all time. Because he came in from his rookie season, had a scoring title, and, he just kept moving the needle for them and helped them lead them to the finals, and they were contenders the entire run he was there. Once they got going, once they got a few more pieces around him, and Kevin Durant was that original piece that jump-started that rebuild in the early Oklahoma City years. Only thing missing from that was a championship, but Kevin Durant was that dude. And say what you want to say about him with the Warriors, but as soon as he got there, first finals together, who was the MVP of that finals? With all due respect to Steph, it was Kevin Durant, like it or not. And even if you weren't a fan of what he did, he certainly made that team better. And when they were fully healthy, come playoff time, they were unstoppable in the best-of-7 series at full health. And you even saw, with the Nets, even though it's he asked to be there and he opted his way out, you saw when he was on the court versus when he wasn't on the court, the difference he made. He was also a difference maker when he's on and when he wants to play. Yep. No matter what, even if you don't like the way he hops from teams, you don't like certain things about him, you got to respect his game. He's easily one of the greatest players of all time for that when he's on. I think some people let their biases get in the way when they're talking about those all-time greats because they haven't really liked the moves he's made since 2016. But you got to put that aside and look at the player. Easily, top 15, top 10, whatever you want to do it in. Maybe that's another video for another time, ranking top 15 all-time players. But he's definitely at least in that top 15, like him or not. And Kevin Durant's going to continue to dominate. He's going to continue to lead the way wherever he goes for at least another few years, barring another serious injury.
Yeah. So remember, the premiere video. Funny, Daniel. That's a good one. Remember, Blaze, you and I were talking about KD, Sixers, whatnot. I never wanted them. I never did. I would take prime KD, but I will not now. Just because what has he done, winning wise? I need someone who can win on the Sixers.
Okay. We don't need a prime player though. We got Maxey and McCain. KD doesn't need to be the guy. Yeah, I agree with you. I'd rather have a prime KD, of course. But if they were to find a way to get him next year, I think that's a really good fit in what they do. We're now
stuck with Paul George.
I know and Embiid. The Nets big three was not a good fit for KD. The big three with Beal is not a good fit for KD. And when he was with Curry and that team, it was a good fit. Yeah, he's been stuck with teams that were shit. And that's the problem. Right now, he could be the difference. I mean, you throw him, you still. I think Adem Bona can step up and be a solid starting center in the long run. He's only a rookie. You got Yabu. You put KD out there as well with those two shooters, McCain and Maxey. I think that's a perfect compliment because he doesn't need to be prime KD.
He doesn't need
But
a
it's not
prime
happening. It's not even worth talking about because it's not happening.
It's not happening, but I just always love this discussion because it always comes down to a super team or not a super team.
Well, if
It
KD was going to
always
get
comes to-
moved, he would have been moved in this trade deadline because he was the one that was supposed to get moved. They're going to want too much for him, and that's the reason they couldn't make a deal before in this year, or else he would have got moved now. So that's the big question of who's willing to give up enough to get him when they go to the trade market next year. And it's going to have to be a marquee player or a shit ton of picks.
All right, Dark.
Now he's
I
smoking
agree
crack.
with you on. I agreed with you on this one, but now I'm taking that agreement away after this dumb comment.
Well, here's what
So-
he's done. I mean, as far as winning championships, no, only one team wins championships every year. And like I just said, he's been
Yeah.
stuck with teams that weren't going to go there anyway. So what has he done since the Warriors? I just read you all those accolades. He hasn't fallen off that far.
He
except
hasn't
for-
fallen off. Yeah,
Except for age, you're going to deteriorate a little bit.
Embiid had fallen off gracefully.
He just
Yeah,
falls
like-
down. He just falls down.
I just can't believe that. Take the three, you idiot! Don't go
Yeah.
between the legs, behind the back.
Now, yeah, if the Red Sea was parted, like when his big windmill dunk that he did last year or whenever he had
Yeah.
that's a different story. But it was all clogged up. There was no one near him,
No,
and that's not a good sign because normally Embiid would take that three and want to be that guy.
yeah.
I mean, Maxi's missed game winners too. I mean, it's a team's in shambles right now. It's just
Yeah, speaking of Maxey, he shot terrible last night.
yes, he had a bad
It's-
game. Is
it's
it the
not
end of
a-
the? Is it the end of
it's
the
not the-
world?
I was just about to say
Yeah.
that. It's not the end of the
It-
world. Let me
it-
finish what I'm about to say.
I'm in your head. Is
Yeah,
he
you
still
are.
fourth in scoring in the NBA? Did he have how many 25 plus games in a row? I mean, if you're going to shit on someone for having an off night, and yes, it was a horrible off night. I mean, he didn't have any points till the second half, right?
Third quarter, fourth.
And
Yeah.
then he couldn't even finish at the end. But we're not talking about Superman and Batman. We're talking about human beings.
Right.
You know,
I thought
shooting-
Embiid was Superman. Boy,
go
was I
outside.
wrong.
Go outside and shoot on a hoop behind your house. Shoot 100 shots. It's not easy. Now try doing it with the best in the world against you. I mean, you're bound to have days where it's just not hitting. Now, if we find out something that maybe Maxi's nursing an injury and he's still playing hurt or something like that, who knows? Maybe he was sick that day or so. I don't know. I don't make excuses for players. I just know that they're human beings and bad days happen, even horrible days like that. And here's the thing, and you mentioned it last night. As horrible as the game Maxey had, they were in the fucking game to win.
They were in it.
If Embiid shoots at three and they win, we're still talking about Maxey having a bad game. But how great that is when your arguably best player of the year has a horrible game and you still win. Or you're still competitive. That's what I mean. I mean, they're not good this year, but they're not terrible. They are this far away from having a winning record, and 10 games could have been flipped if we were healthy or someone hit. I mean, we have so much talent. I've said this ad nauseum on this show.
And it's actually what
I blame it on Philly fan. I blame it on Philadelphia fans because they're
The
up,
sad part
and
is
then when they
this team
suck,
is-
they we're terrible.
Let me
and when
take
they're
the
good,
let me take
we're
the light
back.
pole. Let me take the light pole and never come back.
this team is sadly a little bit below average, right? In today's NBA, you see what the Rockets, Thunder, and Grizzly does. It entails a mid-roster with mainly younger pieces. The Sixers still got to get
Hey,
to that
they got
point.
They have
two
four
young
old
guy-
guys. That's it. We need to stop that argument that the Sixers are old. They have four old guys. The rest
They're
of them are
slow.
all young, and they just got younger at the trade deadline. And what did we talk about last night, Mitch? Who played well?
Oh,
played-
Quentin Grimes and
Jared Butler.
God, Butler.
Jared
Yeah,
Butler.
I forgot
so
the
as
name.
much as the fan base and myself aren't really happy with the corporate hierarchy and the coaching right now, they did a hell of a job getting two players that can contribute. It's a hell of a team that looks like shit. That's where
Well,
I'm getting at.
you have to thank Dallas for taking an injured player.
Well, that's a whole nother story we're about to talk about. Segue if you want to go into that
Yeah,
now.
yeah, we can just go right into that now. Anthony Davis gets injured. He is out for a month. Gafford is now out for the Mavericks. You have Caleb
All their
Martin,
big
who's
guys
out.
are out.
Dude.
This is
All
I
except
can't
for
help but-
Lively.
I
Except for
can't help
Derek
but
Lively.
rant on this bullshit.
Yeah, this is a
Go for it.
brutal season for the Mavericks. It's ironic. It's kind of like because usually with the curses after a championship loss, that's usually in the NFL with the Super Bowl losers curse. The NBA, it doesn't happen as often. It still happens from time to time, the 04-05 Lakers, but that was also after they lost Shaq. They were adjusting to life without him, and Kobe was adjusting to that role. But in this case, with the Mavs, it's a just different story with injuries, Luka in the front office leading to the trade. Just a lot of rotten luck in this case for the Mavs. I mean, they still
So-
could make the playoffs, but who knows at this point with the injuries, especially in a competitive conference. I mean, it could still happen, but it is looking in doubt as of right now.
All right, Blaze, go for it.
So, we had 2 instances in this trade. One of the most amazing, Cowboy John, my brother, what's happening? In one of the most amazing trade deadlines ever, right?
Yes.
We had 2 instances where someone gets traded to the other team, and correct me if I'm wrong. If there's a reasoning behind this, I'd love to know it. The Sixers one is less than the other one. We literally had players in uniform playing for the team that they got traded to, and then the trade got rescinded. How are we not doing medical exams on these players before they play for the team you just invested in? That makes 0 sense to me. $1 million corporations investing in human beings' health. Talk about it. Suns last year, all the injuries. Sixers this year, all the injuries. How can you trade for someone, put them in uniform, put them on your court when you haven't physically tested them medically? It makes 0 sense. Why are you not testing them before the trade is completed? Why is that not a rule? That when 2 players, before they can switch a team, let alone go on the court and play. No wonder Dalton Connect is questioning whether or not he wants to play for the Lakers again. They just said, we don't want you. You're gone. We have someone else that's better. We're bringing in a big guy. And now you have to get rid of him. But nobody was testing them. That's what I'm saying. You can't say
my bestie Joey.
They can't say they tested Mark Williams and said, okay, you're good to play. And then 2 days later, now he can't pass a physical. What does that say? Please explain it to me. There has to be a reason. There has to be. I can't. This rant. I'm hoping my rant is useless because there's a policy in play that has to happen. I don't know if it's ever happened in the history of the NBA. It may have. And once again, correct me if I'm wrong. Bring me the facts. When has a player got traded, played in the new uniform, and then had the trade rescinded days later because of a physical? That makes no sense.
It's crazy. Caleb Martin. I just want to talk about Caleb Martin real quick. I'm glad that he's not on my team anymore, but Sixers got away. Didn't really get away. We lost a 2nd-round pick.
And they should have if they're trading someone that had problems. Mark Williams' career might be ruined because of this.
Right.
For him to now it's just it blows my mind that this can happen. Hopefully, I'm now a Mark Williams fan. I hope he gets better, and I hope he can help change the Hornets. It's not the Lakers' fault. Well, it might be. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. Why are you not testing these guys before they get on your floor? How many times do we see, look, Luka didn't play right away. So, I mean, I know he was coming off an injury, but some of these players, they wait a few weeks before they play. There has to be an answer out there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Nikki, you got anything to say about this?
I mean, Blaze pretty much touched up on all the main points. I mean, this is absolutely blasphemous how this can happen. You get all these different teams are bringing in these guys to play for their team, and they're unable to stay healthy. I mean, okay, I understand injuries happen, but when it's happening repeatedly, obviously these teams are doing something wrong. They're not testing these guys properly.
He's on my channel, by the way.
And you know what's
No, he
crazy
was
is,
on mine.
you know, this is an old story. Charles Barkley once said in an interview. Now, this was about Dr. James Andrews, the surgeon, the now retired surgeon from Alabama, who did a lot of sports athletes. Barkley said he would give Dr. Andrews his x-rays first and trust his opinion over the team doctors. Now, granted, that's an old story, old news, but that shows, you tie that into what Blaze is saying about how you got all these doctors there, and yet these players are getting hurt. That could be a sign that some of these professional doctors, like Dr. Andrews, are more trustworthy than team doctors. Definitely they are in today's era with what's going on, but
Hey, that's a Pittsburgh doctor.
Ah,
He's
that's
a
an
great
interesting
doctor.
point. Barkley's saying he would trust another doctor over his team doctors.
But it just doesn't understand. I just don't understand how you can not thoroughly test the guys before they play. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe there is. Maybe there's like a week or something. No, not you. Everybody but Dark Lumen is allowed to chat.
It makes you wonder,
Hey.
though, are they just giving them basic physicals because they're so desperate to get them on the court? It's got to be, they're definitely doing something wrong, though, if this is happening so frequently.
Yeah, like you want to hold referees or coaches accountable. Let's hold the team accountable for taking in a player that was not healthy to play. And yes, shame on the other team for if they knew. Like maybe the Sixers didn't know the extent of Caleb's injury. Maybe the Hornets didn't know the extent of Mark Williams' injury. I don't know. I don't know the whole story. I'm taking it at face value of what you see. And if there was an instance of this before, let me know about it. When has a player been traded, played on the new team, and then had to go back to their old team? I don't know if that's ever happened.
I don't know either.
Maybe Google knows.
Or ChatGPT might know. But anyways, we got to talk about this duo that is lighting the NBA on storm, and that is Wemby and Fox. This one game, they both had like 30 some odd points. They were both on fire. It was a match made in heaven. I love this duo.
Hold
Nikki,
on before you finish your thought. John Wall and D'Angelo Russell trade got rescinded and they played and they had to go back.
right? I forgot about that.
D'Angelo Russell had to return to the Lakers and John Wall had to return to the Rockets after being traded away previously. Not the same, but but they both have made it to their new team, played, and then had to go back. That's insane.
I don't understand what Lumen's. All right, whatever. I don't understand what you meant by that. Yeah. Blaze, tell me about this duo, Fox and Wemby. I think it's great.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a good fit. I was hoping for more. Once again, Kentucky guy, so I'm a little biased. I've loved De'Aaron Fox's game. I didn't think he would reach his full potential where he was. And here's a little better example of how to handle it. Shout out to Coach Ed in the chat. Instead of pulling a Butler, Fox busted his hump until the day he left. He expressed his concerns. That he kind of wanted out, but he wasn't a dick about it. And it's just, my point too is him having to learn from Chris Paul now too, I think is invaluable for Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen them work well together. And, Chris Paul is a great all-time point guard as well, but he's at the end of his tenure in the NBA. To bring in a young guy to stay with Wemby for the unforeseeable future really speaks volumes. And you put in Castle, Vassell, Sochan, they got a really nice team down there with the Spurs. And before Wemby, that team didn't look like it was going to go anywhere. And you got to talk about the coach too. He's been doing it forever, and so much respect down there for Pop as well.
All right, coach.
Fire the coach. Blame the refs. Is that Coach Halftime?
Coach
Yeah,
halftime.
What is up, Xavier? What is up, man? Guys, this Saturday will be Xavier, me, and Nick for the Vengeance Day watch party. Make sure you guys tune in. And the hot takes and headlocks show this Sunday. Joe and Xavier. Can't wait for that.
Hot cakes and head jobs. That sounds like a good morning.
I was thinking about that for the title. I'm just listening to you guys talk about NBA. We know I don't watch it NBA more. You're now a Washington Wizards fan, so you like players who do it in the
there
locker
you
room,
go.
huh?
There you go.
He
That's
likes
what I like
players
to
that
hear.
he likes it when players do it in the locker room.
I give Coach Ed a lot of credit to because he is a real one about his Knicks. When he doesn't like them, he'll let you know. When he loves them, he will. I mean, he lets you know how he feels. He's not going to be one of those sugar-coated fans that are just going to say something just because their team's playing well or doing this or doing that. He's going to let you know his opinion. I miss our debates, Coach Ed. Get in here so we could yell at each other a little more and then laugh about it afterwards.
Yeah, he hates Kendrick Perkins. Let's go off that.
I had to agree with him the other day, though, but most of the time,
you had to agree with him on what?
I forget what it was. I don't even want to remember.
Oh,
I think we talked about it last week. You have to watch last week's show.
Whatever. But this is Nikki, Fox and Wemby. What do you think?
Nice. That's a really good 1-2 duo for the future, man, to look out for. And I'm glad too that Wemby got help because he's an amazing young talent. And the last thing I'd want to see for him is to have his career wasted. So I'm glad that the Spurs are doing something to give him help for the future going forward. And De'Aaron Fox, he's still a young guy, so there's still time for them to click. More time for them to play together, and then maybe eventually you get another piece or two, or you get some solid role players around them, and slowly but surely the Spurs eventually work their way back into contention. But I think that's a nice move for both him and De'Aaron Fox, who was also stuck in an unfavorable position with the Sacramento Kings. Now he gets a fresh start, gets to start with a fresh young phenom who could be the future face of the NBA. I think it's a win-win for both players.
Yeah.
It'll be great down the line.
Coach Ed, tell us what you think of Fox and Wemby in the chat.
Yeah.
And what you think about players getting traded and then traded back.
And then, guys, right now on the network, we got the NFC East Real Deal Roundup with Mac, the Giants fan, and Adam Costas. Make sure you guys join them. There's a link if you guys want to talk some football and troll them that the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Nah, football's over. No more football talk. No one cares about football. It's hoop season now.
No, it's still my football season.
It was a fake season anyway. It was all rigged, right? So
yeah,
the referees cheated for the Eagles, and it was rigged all year. So
and we stole white posts and we broke.
Let's move on. No, I don't even find that funny because destruction is not cool.
It's not cool, but
breaking windows of businesses and trashing your city is stupid. Shame on you. Shame on every Philly fan that did that.
Yep.
That's a riot. They should all be arrested and put in jail.
Fox and Webhead aren't going to win a championship. It's ticket sales things. Yeah. Yeah. But it's
we're talking about this year.
Yep.
What's up, Nick?
It's a great move. But speaking of duos, Luka and LeBron, the best duo in the league?
Too early to say, but
you can't say too early because Luka's up there and so is LeBron. So,
I mean, if you were going to name the top 5 players in the NBA right now, I bet you a lot of people would put those two in the top 5.
Yeah,
so it's arguably like you got two of the best players in the league on the same team. That's incredible. Now, let's look back to previous to last year. Luka and Kyrie, and we didn't think it was going to work. It looked like shit at first. Then they clicked and made it to the finals. So we talked about it last week, how this isn't about right now. It's about the future after LeBron is why they have Luka, and they're going to build around him going forward. My hope is that LeBron improves as much as people think he's the greatest. He's going to improve his game because, like me and Mitch were talking about, how good of a passer Luka can be. He can be his. I mean, I know they're different players, but the magic to his Kareem. You know, when some of the passes Luka has already made, giving LeBron wide open shots. I mean, I'm not a Laker fan, but
I'm not either. That's the thing. But I'm just saying, I think it's up there to like.
I mean, yeah,
I really do.
What other duo is better? What other duo is better? I mean, as far as you take two of the top 10 players, there's no other team that literally has two of the best players in the world on their team.
I'm going with that. I'm going LeBron and Luka. You could say Tatum and Brown, like what Nick said here, because they're the defending champs. You could say that. You can even say Giannis and no, not Giannis. Jokic and Murray is still up there. There's a lot of
Townsend Brunson. You could say is a great duo, even though
don't tell that to Coach. Coach will be mad. He doesn't like his Knicks right now.
Booker, I'm just comparing Booker and KD. If you're looking at them, is two that are on the same team. Giannis, Lillard. Giannis and Lillard are both top 10 scorers right now. So there you go.
So it's a wait and see.
I would never laugh at anyone getting hurt, Coach. I know you're joking, but that's terrible for AD.
You get what you're for, and you're trying to badmouth Luka all of a sudden. That's BS.
Who's badmouthing Luka?
I think it was the GM, Nico Harrison or something.
I know there was those rumors of him saying that they traded Luka because that's damage control. You got to explain to your fans why they're getting rid of one of the best players in the world. I mean, come on. Does he look like he's out of shape? He looks in phenomenal shape. So it's like you got to tell your fans something when you trade Luka, and that's just bad luck. AD got hurt, and I don't wish even the players. Even James fucking Garbage, who I hate, I would never wish an injury on him or laugh about it. I mean, it's not.
You might want to laugh at this. Hey, Hardcore for All, what is up? You may want to laugh at this. Ben Simmons joined the Clippers.
I have no problem with that. I mean,
it's just funny. It's just ironic.
It's the common thing to shit on a player who's had a bad career. That's not me. I'm not that type of person. I'm not
talking about that. I'm talking about him teaming with Harden.
I think it might be a good fit for him. He doesn't need to score because they've got Kawhi and James, right? So all he
Kawhi's
needs to do is
never playing.
Well, he is now on my fantasy team, doing very well, by the way.
Oh, good for you.
I picked him up last week. So I'm just saying, I mean, there's a place for players like Ben Simmons in this league. If you expect him to be a 2010 player, you're fooling yourself. I mean, he's never been a huge offensive threat. But if he can play solid defense, rebound, and he can help that team. If he goes on a team where he doesn't need to be a big three.
4 and 5.
Plus, he's also a great comeback story if he starts to play well. Because you can't question his talent. You can question his desire. You can question his effort. You can question his production. But you can't question his talent. He's a talented player. He's just had a ton of bad luck. Yeah, I mean, ha 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 ha. Let's make fun of a player because he hasn't done well. It's just ridiculous.
That's Philly for you.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Philly fans, once again.
Yeah.
That's why they're the Pennsylvania 76ers.
No, they're not. Then why aren't they on my new channel, the Stream Punk Sports Pennsylvania?
They should be.
They are, but I'm not covering it over there, thank God. Yeah. What is up, Charles? What's the weather like in the Bahamas? I gotta know.
Like 75 and slight breeze.
I'm guessing 80. I'm guessing 80 degrees right now.
But if you want to get technical overall, those two as a greatest duo, technically, if you're going by offensive stats alone, it's probably Giannis and Lillard because they're two top 10 scorers. Right now, Luka hasn't played enough. He's not even, I don't even know where he is in the top 10 in scoring. And LeBron
he's been injured a lot. He's been injured.
LeBron's 14. So I'm only talking offense. So because that's how you win. You win games with offense and defense, but points kind of matter. And the Brown and
defense,
Tatum,
and defense win championships.
the Brown and
Eagles, let's go.
the Brown and Tatum argument is a good one because they are they're the defending champs. And this is a basketball podcast.
Hey, you set me up. You were like offense and defense win games, and I'm like defense win championship. Let's go. So you set me up for that, man. Oh, it's 79. I said 80.
Defense helps win championships more, but if you don't score points,
Yeah, when you shut down the greatest quarterback,
then you tie 0-0. If it's all defense.
but yeah, Quentin Grimes and Jared Butler, Blaze and I, we were talking about that earlier.
That and
Love that.
hardcore, that's exactly what I'm saying. You can question his work ethic, you can question his attitude, but you can't question his talent. He is a talented player, or else he wouldn't be in the NBA. He wouldn't have been highly touted. Yes, you can question his attitude. You can question all those things because he's given us reason to.
Yep. Nikki, how do you feel about Luka and LeBron?
I mean, for starters, it's phenomenal for ratings because now you get LeBron James, who's been the face of the NBA for years, and Luka Doncic, who is going to be one of the future stars. Whether he's the face of the league or not remains to be determined. I'm leaning toward more eventually Ant-Man or Wemby becoming that guy, but Luka will be one of the faces to carry them for the future. Matter of fact, he already is currently. So now you got two huge stars in Los Angeles playing together. That's going to be great for ratings because people are going to tune into the Lakers to see how do these two players play together. How does LeBron James at 40 still one of the top players and Luka Doncic, one of the top young stars, mesh together as a team? Do they help bring Lakers back to championship contention? Do they kind of stay where they're at as a playoff team? People are going to want to tune in to see this. See these two big stars on the same team.
I think something he said that sticks out to me was Nicky was saying that, which is he's spot on. We got to stop thinking who is the face of the NBA and realize this NBA that we have now has faces.
Yeah.
Like and that's a good thing. I mean, the days of, having one face of the league could be over, where now we see 3 or 4 or 5 that can arguably be the face of the league. And that is a benefit to the league. I mean, I see everyone was shitting on the NBA the last couple months because of ratings and bullshit. And if you're a true hoop fan, that shit doesn't bother you. Like me, I don't care what you say about ratings and stuff. It's still the best sport out there, in my opinion. And if you look at now, thanks to a really crazy trade deadline, and we're getting hyped for All-Star Weekend this weekend, which is always a blast. And then you start to see the level of play rise. You see it every year. Closer and closer it gets to the postseason, they start bringing their A game. So I am hyped for the rest of this season because I know we got Cavs and Thunder on the top, but there are 4 to 5 teams in each conference that could make it to the finals right now. And that's a beautiful thing. Parity brings really fun sports.
I want to talk to you. You brought up the All-Star Weekend, and there's something new for the dunk contest that they're doing. I don't know if you guys heard of this or not.
Yes.
There's a YouTuber, really big YouTuber named Jesser. Blaze, I sent you his dunk contest video. He's doing he's what is the word? Representing the NBA app. So the fans can actually vote in for each dunk, and then it will accumulate all average into one score, and then he'll go, this is the score. So for me, I think that's great. I honestly think that's great. You get the public. I know you're not for it. I know you're not for that.
No, I didn't know. I'm totally for it.
Oh, I thought you were because you were like,
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
There's going to be probably 5 judges.
This
is just one. Here's where it's going to tell us when you have judge 1, 2, 3, and 4 dropping 10s every time, and you get a more realistic score from a composite score for that 5th one, maybe a 8.7 or something crazy. I don't know how they're going to do it, but you're getting a consensus instead of just one person's opinion. And I love that. Actually, here's what it should be. There should be a group of players that vote there because we have the technology to do it. There should be a group of players that vote, a group of coaches that vote, a group of fans that vote, a group of media people that vote, kind of like how they vote for the the Hall of Fames.
Yes.
And then you average those out, and those are your 4 scores. Instead of just saying, because I was always the one like, bring X dunk champs in, let them judge. They'll be more realistic. No, they're terrible at judging because they don't want to hurt no one's feelings. Shout out to Halftime. Here's a 10 for a alley-oop to yourself between the legs. Come on. We got to have it needs to be judged like Olympic sports. There needs to be difficulty. They're used to have this. Have a difficulty score, because if you're doing an alley-oop to yourself, some of the difficulty goes away. If it's it should be difficulty. It should be originality. There should be all kinds of levels to the voting instead of just 5 former players saying 9s and 10s every dunk, except for if they miss. It's not realistic.
It's not. And I really like this because it gives the fans a voice. It gets the people what they pay to see, for their money for. Yes, it's not going to be as great, but maybe it's a step in improvement in the right direction. Maybe they're trying to fix some stuff. Look what Adam Silver brought up with the 10-minute quarters, right? I'm sure not a lot of people are a fan of that.
I don't mind it at all.
I'm a fan of that. So for me, it's like they're looking each way to help the ratings, and I love it.
It might make
Roger Goodell.
I agree. It might make the other judges think more critically, because they're going to be scored against a group of fans now. So they have to be more realistic. They can't just, 9s and 10s all the time, because if they're putting up 9s and 10s and we get 7.9 or 8.5 is a more realistic score from a consensus, they're going to look like idiots if they keep throwing 10s up for half-assed dunks that we've seen a million times.
Correct.
But I love the dunk competition. Yes, it's not what it used to be. I don't give a shit. It's still amazing. I think they should have Team NBA versus Team Flight Brothers, because the Flight Brothers, if you don't know who they are, just Google Flight Brothers. Go to IG, look at them. They did the halftime dunk competition in the one of the NBA games a couple weeks ago, and it was phenomenal.
Coach Ed brings up a good point. Nikki, I'll go to you after this.
It's consensus, though, Coach. I agree with you, but it's a consensus. They're not just taking 5 random fans and letting them have their voice.
It's the whole.
Yeah, it's the whole. Everybody logged into NBA.com and has a login. You can vote for the dunk competition.
Yes.
Yes. And it's not like the fan vote is everybody's vote. You're still going to have judges, Coach. Come on.
Yeah. So, Nikki, I want to hear your take on this with the whole thing with Jesser, the NBA, and the fans getting their own vote in the dunk contest.
It's great. The fans are going to love it because now they at least have an opportunity to let their voice be heard and have an influence on the judge's decision. But you got to wonder, though, are the judges going to go by their own thing? Or are they actually going to go listen to the fans? Like,
they can't. It's just going to be a vote. They're going to have to put their number up the same time the fans' vote comes in. They won't be able to say, let me see what the fans' vote is. Okay, now here's mine. They're going to all be voting at the same time. Technology is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, but the only question is, are they still going to be handing out 9s and 10s, or are they actually going to try to be a little less biased, though? That's what
that's the problem, Nikki. That's the big one, is fans are going to vote for the player from their team more and stuff like that. But that's why if you're taking thousands of them, it eliminates the bias.
That outweighs it.
It's the overall average. Go ahead, Nikki. I'm sorry.
And sometimes now that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out with, like, if this is a formula they go with for the foreseeable future, the next 4 or 5 years, what happens when players from popular teams are in there, like the Lakers? How's the fan going to have an influence on that? Because, the Lakers have a huge fan base. There's going to be a greater chance of bias from the overall fan percentage in that one. So there's a lot of different factors that can play in, but what about players from a fan that doesn't really have from a big fan base? Like, these are all different things that could factor in with how the fans vote. So I'm curious as to how it's going to play out because there's a lot of different variables that come into play.
Yep.
It could be a disaster. Who knows? But here's the
real-
good thing is Silver is trying to make things more appeasing to the fans.
And how to do that? Technology.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And
That's the
I
number
think
one
it's
way.
I think it's brilliant.
Social media. I like it. I really do. It's not because I'm a huge fan of Getzer. I've seen him like from the beginning to now where he is. It's not just that. I love the game of basketball. He's a big basketball content creator, big basketball YouTuber with 20 plus million subscribers. He has a lot of influence on the younger kids. So gotta give it a chance. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
I like it. I can't wait. I don't know if we're streaming it, but hey, that's another thing for another time. But actually, let's talk about the Celebrity All-Star Game because they have some names in this thing. They have some names. So you have Team Bonds.
There's
Barry
a lot of
Bonds.
this stuff. Like I guess I'm a boomer because I'm like, who?
All right. I'll tell you. Let's go over Team Bonds first. So you got Barry Bonds and 2 Chainz.
I know who they are.
Again? Why is 2 Chainz in everything? Kai Cenat, the biggest
know who
Twitch
he is.
streamer. Baron Davis. Rome Flynn, I'm drawing
Who?
a blank. Lisa Gray, I think
Who?
a singer. Mickey
Who?
Goit. I don't know who that.
Who?
Dylan
Who?
Wang.
There's a Wang at the bottom. Yeah.
And
But I'm
then
sure they're all there for a reason. Popularity.
Matt
and-
Barnes.
I know who
Matt
he is.
Barnes.
Bailey's
know who
gonna
that
be,
is?
You'll be good at boxing out. who and who Drewski's a DJ, I think, or Drusky or whatever, isn't he? a DJ or something?
Drewski's actually a DJ and a social media influencer.
So who, then who, then who?
Yeah.
This is not for Terrell Owens. I know who that is.
I think we all know who T.O. is.
Shabuzi, yeah, unfortunately.
Kayla Thornton.
Who?
What? Like, I'm not good at names. I'm good at like faces. Yeah.
If
I don't know how you got what.
If you go back to, I sent you the other link I sent you is for the whole All-Star weekend.
Yeah, I see that. I got it.
We could look at like who's in the dunk and who's in the 3-point. 3-point's going to be fun.
Oh, I can't wait for the 3-point.
I just wish dunk would go to 6 or 8 people again instead of just 4.
Yeah. All right.
Celebrity game you did. I'm really interested in this. Although when you show the 3 teams, I think there's a glaring difference in one team.
So when you look at the All-Star, when you look at the ESPN or the ESPN app, and you look at NBA, the times. So the first game was at 8:20. The second game's at 9:10. Then the third game, to be determined, it will be at 10 o'clock. So each game is 50 minutes long.
For the Rising Stars or for the All-Star?
No, that's for the All-Star game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, there are 4 teams, 3 NBA teams, and whoever wins the Rising Stars will also be in the All-Star game, which that's something they've never done. I mean, you're giving the rookies and second-year guys an opportunity to play against the other All-Stars. I think that's pretty intriguing. And they're doing just like the NFL did, we're not going to flag basketball or anything, but they're trying to find a way to make it more appealing.
Yep. So this is what's going on for the Saturday night. You got the kids. Where are all the participants for that?
Click on the blue link. Click on the blue link. There you go.
Oh.
That's why I wanted to give you that one link because it gives you everything.
So
now look at that. That's going to be fun.
Oh, I can't wait for this. The skill challenge. Yeah. For the team Cavs, for their skill challenge, you got Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. Both on my fantasy team. There you go, Blaze. You actually
either should be in the All-Star game.
You mean Donovan Mitchell should not?
Well, he should be the only Cav.
Okay. For the rookies, you got Reese and Alex Starr. If Jared McCain was healthy, he should have been in there. For the Spurs, you got Chris Paul and Wembanyama.
There's your dark
Why
horse.
not put De'Aaron Fox there?
because that just happened.
I
This
don't
has
care.
probably been planned for a while. Plus, Chris Paul's on his final run, man. Let him have a shot in this, and that's I think who's going to win.
Yeah, and then for the Warriors, they got Draymond Green and Moses Moody. So, Nikki, how do you feel about the players for the skill challenge?
Let's see. I'm looking at I do like the Mitchell Mobley, Paul and Wemby. That's going to be interesting to see those two, just for the visual of seeing them together. Even though we've seen it throughout the season, but in a skills challenge, it's going to stand out more when it's just those two.
Yep.
And anybody can win this because it's it's the pass, it's the layup, it's the shot, it's a bunch of stuff together. So we'll see how it goes. But that'll be fun.
I got Spurs winning this.
Me too. But I wouldn't be surprised if Mobley and Mitchell win it.
You would not be surprised if I won it. Oh, that's special.
God.
Thank you.
All right, go to the dunkers and the 3-pointers for goodness sakes.
Oh, what? Do I have to go back?
Go back and then click the link below it.
Oh my
Up,
God.
up.
I know. I'm fixing my thing. No, it's a 3-point.
Yeah.
So for the 3-point, you got Jalen Brunson. There you go, coach. Cade Cunningham, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero. Oh my God. You know what's funny? Of course, when the one shot to go, both of them were in this. Buddy Hield, Cameron Johnson were against him tonight. Damian Lillard and Norman Powell. So
I'm interested to see, just for shits and giggles, here is your 3-point stats right now. This is just average 3-pointers made. Wouldn't it be percentage? What would you go by? Would you go by 3-pointers made per game or a 3-point percentage when you wanted to rank them, Mitch? What would you think?
I go with percentages.
All right, let's look at percentages. So Luke Kennard right now is top, then Seth Curry, then Taurean Prince, then Sabonis. They're all shooting over 45. Jokic. Wow, that's crazy. Is that regulars? That's not 3-pointers.
What is he?
Yeah, that's 3-point stats. I want the top 3-point shooters. 3-pointers made. Well, Curry, Edwards, Ball, Beasley, and Miller are making the most per game. I don't know how they choose these, but I was just curious on where these 8 fell in the top rankings right now in threes.
Yeah. So who do you guys have winning this?
Lillard.
Again?
He's a guy who just gets hot. I would love to see Hero as a Kentucky guy, so I'd love to see him. But when Lillard is on, he's so automatic and his shot is pure and he just clicks and then it's unconscious at that point. Dark horse, Buddy Hield, because he can catch fire too when he does.
Yep.
But if he starts out slow, he could do terrible. I love Cam Johnson. I'm glad he's in there. My buddy helped train him. So I'm a big Cam Johnson fan. I'd like to see him win. I mean, the favorite has to be Lillard, but if I were to pick someone else, it'd be Johnson or Hero just for personal bias.
You know what, Coach? If you're still in here, I'm going with Jalen Brunson.
See, I don't know if his shot is the way he shoots isn't really attuned to quick release, make a bunch in a row. I mean, he can definitely shoot it with the best of them.
It's his with the heart. His heart, not.
Yeah, but it's against the clock. If he can't get all those shots off, we'll see. I mean, a lot of these guys adjust their shot when they're in this competition too. What's up, Dave?
Nikki, how about you? Who you got? Yeah, our hardcore for all. None of the top guys are in it.
Well, Norman Powell is 11th, and Hero 6th in threes.
I'll give me Dame on this one.
All right. And then Nick comes in with a question. What did you guys think of Trae Young as a replacement for Giannis? He was one of the names I had down. 3 others were LaMelo, Ball, Josh Hart, and Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, I got nothing wrong with it. He's having a great
year. I got nothing wrong.
Him, LaMelo, and Maxey are my big snubs. I would have had those in instead of the other 2 Cavs and somebody else, but that's just because I like inclusion in an all-star game. I don't give a shit if your team is the best team. We're looking for all-star players. Buzelis, baby. I want to see Buzelis take it, man. I think he's going to do some creative shit. I've never seen Andre Jackson dunk.
I got Mac McClung again.
And he's got the short, because you're short. That's why you want him. And that's the thing. Here's the thing with the dunk
competition. I've been a fan of him before Rutgers.
And I'm a connoisseur of the dunk competition. I have every one of them saved. I have a ton of VHSs. I still rewatch them when they're on NBA TV. I don't care. This is my cup of tea. I love it. I was the white guy who could dunk. So it's McClung. When you watch the replays, because he's so short, it looks even more phenomenal for him to dunk because of his height. He's jumping. His vertical's phenomenal. Now, my question is creativity. That's what I want. I don't want alley-oop yourself and dunk over your buddy. Take using props out completely. And for anyone who says we've seen everything, go watch Flight Brothers once again. I've seen guys bounce the ball off the ground while they're jumping, catch it under the legs twice while you're doing a 360. We've seen the 720 happen before. I don't think any of these guys can do that. But I mean, you're probably going to get a little more power maybe out of Andre and Stephon Castle with some of their dunks, maybe a little more finesse from Bucelis and McClung. It's going to be very interesting. I want creativity is the only word I care about.
You know why I want Mac McClung to win? Because he will be able to get a 3-peat, something that Kansas City could not get. So there you go.
Basketball podcast.
I don't care. That still makes sense.
I know. If the Steelers won, I'd be talking about them too. I'm just busting balls.
Nikki, who you got?
Six times. Real cute. You guys finally have more than one Super Bowl. Real cute. Real cute.
Hey, you're still living in the past, aren't you?
And the
Nikki,
future.
who you got? Huh?
And the future.
Yeah, we got the future here.
And the best fan base in football.
Okay, we're not going to this again. You know, Nikki, who you got?
I'm going to go with Mac McClung.
Let's go. I got Bucelis. That's my second.
I'd love to see McClung do it, but I think the one thing he has against him is that we've seen, unless he pulls out some crazy shit, we're going to see the same dunks he did the last 2 years, and that might be a detriment to him. Not to say they're not phenomenal, but unless he pulls some crazy shit out, I think that's hurting him unless he does something really creative. But there's no wrong answer in a dunk competition to me.
There is not.
Unless they're doing the same shit.
Well, let's do the predictions and get this. Every team is playing tonight.
All-Star. What about the All-Star game? I want to see the 3 lineups.
Oh, they didn't have it yet, I think.
Yeah. They got team. They already picked the teams. Team Charles, Team Kenny, and Team Shaq. I think it's on that same page.
Yep, I got it. Let's see. Here's game 1, right? Do I have to go? No, it doesn't have it. It doesn't have it.
There's a really interesting point I wanted to point out if we can find it. Under NBA All-Star Game, if you click on that.
This is what I'm looking at right now.
Right where it says 74th NBA All-Star Game. Click that. Now go down.
Why won't it?
Just scroll. Keep going. It doesn't show the teams.
No.
What? I've seen the graphic. I should have sent this to you. I was totally unprepared. Here it is.
But look, it's here. Here's Wemby.
Here, check your DMs.
Oh, you're sliding in my DMs?
There it is. Okay, I just sent you the graphic. Just go to
again. You're sliding in my DMs.
Now, I don't know if that's updated with the new guys that just came. Yeah, it is because Trey's on there. So when they picked, for those that don't know, because the Rising Stars champion will be in there, and they had Shaq, Chuck, and Kenny draft players, and they all had a specific thing they wanted to do. Look at Chuck's team. Almost all foreign players, non-U.S. players. Pretty much every one of them. Then you look at Kenny's. He went with youth, young guys, because they need to ball out in an all-star game. Then you look at Shaq's. He went for name recognition, the big guys. He put KD, LeBron, and Kyrie together from that Olympic team. I think that's going to be a hard team to beat. Shaq's team is stacked. Chuck's team is all born players. Kenny's are all young. I like that they kind of stayed by what they wanted to do with their teams. then you can't really count out the rising stars. Although they don't have Wemby, he's on the team. But my question to everybody is, who's going to win? Which team do you think will win out of these 4 teams? I'm going with Shaq. I think the star, I mean, there's not enough basketballs for them all, but this, keep in mind, this isn't competition top 100%. They're not going to go 100%. It's an exhibition game. And I think Shaq's team wins. What do you guys think? And chat, you guys as well.
Nikki, you go, and then I'll go.
This is
Chuck's
going to
team
be
is-
interesting. I feel like Shaq's team kind of got the edge here.
Chuck's
Especially
team, I mean-
considering a lot of these guys have played together in the Olympics before. Some of these guys have
Yeah.
chemistries like KD, Steph Curry, LeBron, Tatum.
You know who I'm going with? I want Blaze. Guess who I'm going with?
Kenny's young stars.
Nope.
But if you look, Chuck's team, Shea, you got SGA
I'm
and
going
Joker,
Chuck.
man.
I'm going
SGA and
Chuck.
Joker and Wemby. That's amazing. Like you got
That-
two of the top 3 scorers. Chuck's team, and I think what Nikki said is a big deal. These guys are only going to play together for a couple days. They're all the greats in the NBA. But Shaq's team has history playing together. So they've practiced a bunch together, mostly, not all of them. But that's basically the Olympic team versus the world team versus the rookies team. Wouldn't it be funny if it's Kenny's young stars versus the rising stars in the finals?
That'd be great.
And that's not a bad thing, because you know what that says? The future is amazing in the NBA. It's not always about the old stars.
Right. Chad's going with Shaq, obviously. Duh. All right. We got every team is playing tonight.
Yeah, it's a big, big, big night.
Spurs and Celtics. I got Celtics.
Celtics.
Yeah, I guess. Although I'd love to see San Antonio beat them.
Oh, I would too. Hornets at the Magic. I got Magic.
Same.
Are you going with all home teams?
No, because I want Philly to win tonight. It's time for them to win. They lose, then they win, then we're back, then they lose, and they suck.
Nikki, who you got?
I'll take the Hornets in this one.
Oh, okay. I like
Hey,
it.
LaMelo is
Pacers-
the type of player who can drop 40 and they can beat just about anybody. We want to be real.
Pacers at the Wizards. I'm going Pacers.
What's up, Cameron? Pacers. Pacers!
Yeah,
Sixers at the
Pacers.
Nets.
I got the
Sixers.
Sixers. We're back.
Sixers.
Hawks at the Knicks. I got Hawks.
Knicks.
Trae Young owns the Madison Square Garden, man. I'm going Hawks.
Not this time.
Okay.
I'll take the Knicks in this one.
Shout
Cavs
out,
at-
Kid.
Oh wait, you said
Toronto
Cavs.
coming off that big win against the Sixers. Go Toronto.
I'm going Cavs.
I'm going Toronto for Randy.
Nikki, you were in Cavs or Toronto?
I'm going Cavs.
Pistons at the Bulls. Pistons.
Bulls.
They
Pistons.
played. Wait, they played them last night.
They do back-to-backs.
Huh?
Home and away.
Okay.
I'll take Chicago in that one. Surprise.
They got blown out by Detroit last night.
Well, hey, if Sixers fans or anybody know, you can get blown out one night and win the next. You could lose by 30 and then win by 10. It happened. It's NBA.
Yep.
That's a good thing.
Bucks at the Timberwolves.
Good game. Wolves.
I'm going Wolves.
Wolves.
Kings at the Saint. I mean, oh my God.
Saints.
Kings at the.
You got a nice new head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats. There you go, Kellen Moore. Kings at the Pelicans.
New Orleans. I won't say their other name.
I'm going Kings.
I'll go Sacramento.
Blaze.
Ooh. I said New Orleans. I won't say their other name.
Heat
Man.
at the Thunder.
That's a good
Thunder.
game, too.
I got Thunder.
I got Thunder at home.
Yeah, I'll take OKC. For
Good
sure.
games tonight,
The
man.
Suns at the Rockets. Give me the Rockets.
Rockets.
Suns. Fuck it.
These are
Trailblazers and the Nuggets. Give me the Nuggets.
Nuggets.
Yeah, I'll take the Nuggets. Definitely.
Lakers at the
Trailblazers,
Jazz.
Lakers.
Lakers.
Warriors at the Mavericks. Give me Warriors.
Same.
Yep.
Memphis at the Clippers. Give me Clippers.
Ben
Give me
Simmons. He's good. Ben
Give-
Simmons triple double. Ben Simmons triple double.
give me the
Sorry.
Memphis.
I got Memphis.
Same with the Grizzlies.
All right,
Big.
guys. There you have it. I just have one question before we head on out. Would you guys prefer Thursday nights or Wednesday nights? Let us know in the chat, in the comment section below. You can DM me, DM Blaze, DM Nikki. Let us know. We're trying to switch something up here. But all right. You guys got anything to say before we head on out?
Enjoy All-Star Weekend. It's a showcase of the best basketball players in the world. Take it for what it is. It is a showcase, an exhibition of, for this show, Cameron, we're thinking about maybe moving it to Thursdays if we can.
No, I got MK Lounge for tomorrow.
Not this week, but going forward. Enjoy All-Star Weekend if you can. I mean, don't think it's going to be 100%, and just hang out, enjoy, showcasing their abilities, all the different events, and it's going to be a hell of a festivities all weekend long. I love All-Star Weekend. I always have.
I always have to. All right. Job. All right, guys. We'll catch you on later. Hit that like, hit that sub, hit that notification bell. Yeah, it's on TNT, of course. Of course. And yeah, catch you all later. Have a great night. Peace.